Now we're on to citizen comments, and I think we have a couple ladies who want to talk to us.
I'd love to. Is it
Okay.
Hello, my name is Pam, and this is Angel. I don't know if any of you know her or not.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Okay. Could you give your names and your address, where you live, where you're from, your names, complete names and addresses, please?
Pam Burrus, and I live in Sonoy.
And I'm Angel Ames, and I live in Smith Station, Alabama.
Okay.
So the reason why we're here today is I've actually been to Grantville a bunch of times. I've lived in Newton we moved there about 15 years ago, and then moved to Sonoy about 4 years ago. And I've passed through the town a number of times. I've shopped at Reuse the Pass. I've always loved the town, and more so just because of the historical aspect of it. I love the buildings. I love it as a backdrop. I've used it as a backdrop for photographs, for my motorcycle, for me, just to take pictures of the town. Just fell in love with it. I also love to visit towns all over that have artistic aspects to them. And I don't know if y'all are aware, but there's a huge art movement going on right now just across the country where artists are getting involved, and it helps to revive the town. So I kind of pitched to Sonoy. I saw this article that was on the internet, and it was showing how unexpected objects can be turned into art. So you're talking like utility boxes and even cracks in the wall, how they showed like a stitch that's like stitching it up. And it's just little things like that that add interest to the town, uniqueness to the town, but it's documented. People are taking pictures of it, they're tagging on Instagram, and it creates conversation. So when my husband and I were riding through Grantville, we stopped and took a picture, and was like, God, this would be like the perfect town to do something like that. I threw the idea out to Sonoy just because that's where I live, and everybody seemed to jump on it. But then you had the naysayers that have been there forever, and they were like, no, this isn't our town. We don't need anything like this. And I was like, okay. So I threw it out on Facebook, and I'm a dreamer and I'm a doer. So I threw it out on Facebook, does anybody know a town for sale? I want a town. And it was kind of like a tongue-in-cheek, just joke, I guess, that I was throwing out there. So then all my friends start chiming in, oh, this town's for sale, this town's for sale. Well, then one of my friends said Grantville was for sale, and I was like, actually, Grantville was the town that I was interested in. I was like, that's funny that you say that. I was like, oh my gosh, is it really? Tell me more. So then it became a kind of a joke, and like I said, this has all happened within the past week, that I was going to buy Grantville. So I told my husband, I said, take me back, and let's ride back through. I was like, I want to see the town that we want to buy. So we drive in, we met Mary, she showed us around, we're asking about the buildings and stuff like that. Some of the stuff I had no idea about, like I didn't even know what any of the significance of the buildings were. I tried to look it up online, I don't know if y'all have a website or not, I couldn't find it. So I couldn't find anywhere that talked about the buildings or anything, but I was like, God, if you could just do something little in the town and create a buzz about it, then people can come here. And then you can say, okay, so that art piece that's here, first of all, you can draw attention to a local artist and say, this is the artist, this is what she does, this is the building that it's attached to, this is what it used to be, this is all the different restaurants it's been. Here's the history of the building, so you're educating them, but you're also bringing art to the town. A lot of people joked when I first said something about buying the town, they're like, oh yeah, everybody's tried to do that with Grantville and they failed. I'm okay with failure because I'm not investing any money in this. All I'm doing is I'm asking people to contribute art, to preserve the history, to bring traffic in. And once you bring the traffic, then that's what's going to create the need for businesses. So instead of bringing in a business and hoping that people will come, I'm bringing in the traffic and hoping that the businesses will come. So once I put that out there, one of my friends said, well, I know the guy that owns most of Grantville, I'll put you in contact with him. So last Saturday I had breakfast with Jim Sells, which I know, depending on, what your thoughts are.
We all know Jim.
Yes, I know. It could be negative or positive that I said that, but
and it can be negative or positive
right.
in the same day.
Exactly, and I completely understand that. I didn't know who he
Right,
was.
Mary? Mary's back there.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't know him from Adam, and I really honestly didn't care who he was. All I wanted was information. I wanted to know, tell me about why it was listed on eBay, how much is it for sale for, what does that mean, what do you own, like all the information. And Mr. Brooks, this is going to be huge for you because your building is actually the one that caught my attention first. And so either A, I may be a potential buyer, or the stuff that I want to do to the city is going to add huge benefit to you as a seller, and I want to help you get it to where it is. So, and I'm talking like free labor here. Like I feel that passionately about it to where, and I've already started a Facebook page called This is Grantville. It's already a movement that's going on. I've already shared it in a few different groups or whatever, and I have so many people that are already backing it and supporting it and saying, yes, I want to be involved. I want to donate my art. I don't do art, but I do gardening. I can help plant flowers. I can help clear bushes and stuff like that. And again, it's nothing structural. It's nothing that we want to change. It's all about adding historical value and historical awareness by bringing in people and traffic through the town. So anyway, when I met with Jim, he said, I showed him what my plans were. I showed him, I was like, I just need buildings to paint on. I need things to do. I need, permission. And he said, I will give you he's like, I love it. I love everything. I will give you carte blanche to all of my buildings. So you can do whatever you want to them. Inside, outside, they're yours. That's it. Like, do whatever. And he cares about business. So he wants business to thrive so that he can make money, doesn't everybody? I know Mr. Brooks does. That's why he's trying to fix it up to sell it for more money. So my artistic approach is called Grantville Gets Artsy. It's a just kind of a movement in Grantville, but to bring in art and bring in, my first art project would be the mural on the McKee building. And it's
Okay,
just
now what?
the
Wait a
McKee,
minute. You want to change that?
not change it,
Paint.
paint. But the reason behind it is
You want to repaint that mural?
not the mural that's there. The other side's blank. It has like a faded mural that it just had the faded McKee, but I don't want to touch the part that Mr. Palmer
Okay,
did
yeah, because that was painted
by Mr. Palmer.
to look
Right.
like it'd been there
Right.
forever.
Yes.
Okay.
So no,
Okay.
and it is fading and stuff, but I don't want to touch that one at all. I want to enhance the other side of the building and create a wall and a backdrop that would attract people and want them to say, because I even asked my friends on Facebook, and you can look anywhere, people want a wall. There's one in Thomaston, Georgia, I think it's Thomaston, Georgia, that we rode through the other day, and it has this huge sunshine, bright colors or whatever, and people were coming by just to take a picture. In Luthersville, there's murals, and Macon, there's murals.
Yeah.
So,
There's some in Hogansville.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
There's,
it's the new movement, and it's the way I look at it is, even one of my friends, her name's Cheerful, and her ancestors helped build these buildings. So she's very passionate about the structural, historical value of them. She knows a lot of stuff. She's going to help me provide the historical information on the buildings to include in the website. But how cool would that be to say that her ancestor built the building, and her children can leave their legacy for their kids to say that they added to it. It doesn't take away, it doesn't detract. If anything, it brings people to the buildings, and it makes them aware of something that they were never aware of before. Because how many people have avoided this town because there's nothing here? I want to bring people through this town and to this town so that they can start seeing it. And since I started the movement, just within the past week, I've had so many of my friends that have said, I'm going to Grantville this weekend, what can I do on there? I'm like, just, if you see trash, pick up trash, take pictures, document it, tag us on Facebook, do anything you can to bring awareness to This is Grantville, because I want people to know this is the state that it's in right now, and all the potential that it could be. And I really do honestly feel like, and I'm not asking for money, I'm not asking for anything, I wouldn't do anything that would take away from it. If anything, I'm using it to attract people, to educate them about the history of Grantville. And I'm a former web designer, so I've already started a web page. I know that the HPC, like I said, I don't know that y'all have a website. If you do, I couldn't find it. But I would be willing to donate my services to y'all because I'm going to need the information too. So I can either duplicate it on a site for y'all, or we can work kind of together to use it as, because what we're going to do is going to be historical. Like, we are starting something that people 20, 30 years from now are going to want to know about. So if we start documenting it in one spot, then they're going to know about it for years to come, and all the information is contained, and I'm doing all the legwork for this. And again, I get no benefit out of this other than seeing a town that I think is super cool thrive, survive, and like not go to crumbles. I mean, you see the inside of these buildings that are falling in, and if we don't do something now to preserve them, they're going to be nothing more than a parking lot.
We're quite aware of
And I know that even Mr. Brooks was saying that Joan Stell's made a lot of promises, you know, for the upkeep of that. Well, now I have carte blanche. So, like, anything that you wish for that, like, I probably have the same vision, if not more so, and he's given me permission, again, as long as it falls within the realms of, you know, not changing anything structurally or whatever, only adding to it to make it better. And I promise you that, like, if we can get all this stuff and I can get the traffic, A, you'll have absolutely no problem selling your buildings.
Okay.
B, you'll make it like
Okay.
super
Okay.
desirable.
You're
Okay.
addressing the,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You're supposed to be addressing
I'm
us,
sorry.
not the
I-
audience, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You have the same passion, and hearing you is like hearing myself. And that is one of my plans in the future, to have something to attract people to Grantville, to find out what Grantville's all about. So I can see that and hear it in you. And I like that, you know. It's a great idea. I like what you're saying, but there are steps to take.
I'm willing to take any steps necessary.
Have you
and-
talked to any citizens
Yes,
who have
and
lived here for a very
yes, there are a lot of people that I've already talked to, and like I've gotten private message after private message, and I can tell you with all the people that have said good luck in a you know, manner where they're kind of being sarcastic or whatever, every time I get a private message from somebody after posting it, like this one lady the other day, the first line of her message was, I don't know who you are. And on Facebook, that's all you can read is the first line, you can't read anything else. So I'm bracing myself and I'm thinking, okay, you know, here it comes. Yeah, I've had a lot of good feedback so far. This is the one I need to prepare for. So I, you know, said, okay, whatever she has to say, I want to address her questions. Click on it, and she said, and it was, I don't know who you are, but what you're doing, wow. It takes people like you that are the catalyst that start something like this, that make things happen. And she said, Grantville's been waiting for somebody like you for a long time. And I know I don't live here, but I do feel very passionate about it. And I think it could be awesome. I really do.
And you consider yourself, what was that, a dreamer and what?
A dreamer and a doer.
And I'm a shaker, a mover.
See, then that's who I need on my side is people. And like I said, it's not. I come up with the ideas, but I need manpower, and I have a way. Like one of my mom's best friends, who's since passed, she used to call herself a collector of people, and I feel like that's who I am. And you know, I have my group that's a motorcycle group. I have my group that's a running group. I've started a worldwide running organization for moms. It's called Moms Run This Town. And now my friends are joking, well, now you run Grantville, you run that town too. But it has over 700 chapters worldwide. It, you know, it's just something that I saw a necessity for, and it's taken off. So I feel like I can collect the people that are passionate enough about being a part of something. And I think that that's one thing that is lacked in the past is people come in and they try to just make it about them. I'm trying to get community involvement so that they have, even if they paint one brick on a building, they have that attachment to that brick. They were the spark that helped.
It's wonderful. I have no, we have a lot of local artists here. John, what is John's last name, Bill?
John Shelton.
Sheldon, and he is a famous artist. And he lives right in Grantville.
Yep.
He owns the bank building.
Yep. I have
He
his
would be
card.
very,
Mary gave it to
very involved. I've taken lots of people and showed them his studios.
Yeah.
He was
before.
one of the first people that I met when I came
Yeah.
here 5 years ago.
Yeah, he's so talented. And of course, we have Scott.
Yeah. And I met him today. I actually met him in person. Say we've talked online, but I met
We
him.
have a lot of artists. My husband's an artist. My
See?
daughter's an artist. She now moved to Sonoya.
It's like giving me chills upon chills.
But the thing is, and I'm sure the rest of the panel will agree, when we're talking about painting anything on the buildings, we have to be very cautious that they fit into the guidelines that are the HPC, and the guidelines that are the HPC we did not make up.
Right.
They are from the state of Georgia.
I'm going to let Angel address that because she's looked into it a little bit more. I do want to answer your question because you said what's carte blanche.
Thank you.
I asked the same thing
Yeah.
because he kept telling me you have carte blanche, you have carte blanche. I had no idea what it meant until he wrote on a piece of paper, carte blanche, all things Grantville, gym cells. So I, you know, I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can do
Well,
that.
no. You have to understand, a lot of this is just him saying that, like,
Right.
as long
Oh,
as it's
I know,
approved or
I
whatever.
know.
So anyway, basically, it's creative liberty and decision to do what I feel best for his building. So instead
But
of him,
before we can give any total support, we would have to see some examples of your drawings.
right, of course.
Some ideas of exactly what when you get back to your computer, I want you to .com Lake Placid, Florida. That is known as the town of murals, okay? We own a home in Florida, which is,
Right.
okay? That is, there is no building in the whole town that doesn't have a mural on it.
Right.
You know,
And see,
the-
I don't know, it's
the
not even-
playground has, they have the clown museum there, they have various things. It has been the town of murals for over 50 years.
Right.
Is it a historic district?
Huh?
Is it a historic district?
It's the whole town,
Yeah.
which
And
is
it's really,
in the
it's really
historic
only one
district.
mural that I want. I'm not even asking for murals all over the other buildings. I'm asking for touches. So I'm talking like, and I can show you an example. But they took like a power meter box
Oh,
and,
I
turned it to a
know.
flamingo.
I-
Okay, so that's the
art,
vision. Yeah.
I've been married for 44 years and we've done art the
Okay.
whole time. So I'm familiar, but once again, until you actually, it's a grand idea, but until you actually come to us with the actual saying, I'm going to paint this mural, or for example, on Bill's